I want to share something that I heard today. I can't unhear it and ask, how do you plan for this? So today I helped a friend add a new member to her family. See her in the background. Beautiful black lab female, about 1.5 years old, lovely temperament, lovely, very well put together, just all great, all around well-bred lab. But the backstory, how did this dog come to be available, looking for a home? We know there are all kinds of dogs out there. Just go on any rescue site. They're all saying, oh, we can't take any more dogs. We're overloaded. Please take these dogs. And those are just one part of the story. The rest of the story are dogs like you see in this photo that through no fault of their own come from a very good home, need to find another home. What's the story? How many of you plan to go on a camping trip with your family to never come home? Think about that. This little gal, this photo behind me, was one of 14 dogs owned by the same person, first responder, who had seen some horrendous things in his career that he couldn't unsee anymore. He was on an extended stress leave, like so many of them are these days following pandemic and all of the tragedies that have happened since then, even before then. Camping with his son. Let's have a campfire, Dad. 20-year-old son. Light the campfire beside a cornfield. And you hear what's coming? When gust of wind comes along, blows a spark out. We have, if any of you live in an area like we have, it's been a very dry winter. We know the last few seasons have been dry. The cornfield ignites. Stubble. So Dad runs out, tries to stomp out the flames, doing what he can. Has a heart attack. This man's in his late 50s, has a heart attack. Son comes to try to get him, can't get him out of the field. I can't even envision what that looked like. Dad doesn't come home. Now there's 14 dogs at home waiting to be fed and cared for, other than by the pet sitter who was hired to care for them when he was away. And this is where it takes a village. And the dog community, particularly the hunting dog community, I trained Labrador retrievers for decades for field trial competition, and they are a tight community. And when someone in that community is in need, everyone rallies. The hunt dog club, the local hunt dog club rallied, and within 2 hours, they had those 14 dogs in foster care, good foster care. And all of those foster parents are now helping to rehome these dogs. These are dogs that had lived as a pack together, and I'm sure and brought great therapy to this owner who just needed to be with his dog. He was an avid competitor for years until he had his incident at work, and he just left everything behind except his dog. And now one day he goes out and he comes home, or he doesn't come home, and he leaves his dogs behind. No plan. Who would plan in your mid to late 50s that you're going to go out one day and not come home? So now that these dogs are on their way to new homes, my question is, I have Josie. Easy to rehome, you might think? Not really. She's 9 years old now, and she has always, she came with baggage, and some of it's still there, and we don't see it, but a new home would certainly see it. We have Prince, lovely, tons of fun dog, but not everybody can deal with a Malinois. So the question is this: going out and never coming home could happen to any one of us. What's your legacy plan for your dog or your dogs? This individual lived for his dogs. Now they weren't, they were hunting dogs, they were trained to hunt, they weren't necessarily couch potatoes living in the house, but they were tough dogs, well fed, well cared for, well sheltered. So while he had no plans to not come home, therefore no plans for his dog's future, his legacy is in that these dogs, offer like someone you see in the background, years and years of joy, as would any dog in the prime of their life when mom or dad doesn't come home unexpectedly. So my question to you is this: what plans have you made? Whether you're 25 or 85, it can happen like that you don't come home. This is the second time I've encountered this in the last 5 years of owners going out for a visit, going out camping, going out doing something and not coming home and leaving dogs behind with no legacy plan. All you have to do is write a couple of lines, inject it into your will. Do you have a will? There's the first thing. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a legacy plan for my dogs, but I'm certainly working on it, particularly after today. Because when I heard this story, I must admit I wasn't close friends with this individual, but I certainly knew who he was because he was a name. He was a force in the hunting dog competitive world. And my heart just exploded when I heard this story. I couldn't believe it. So what's your legacy plan? You go out of the house today and you don't come home tomorrow. What is your plan of action for your dogs to be cared for? Who will come for them? Who will care for them? And who will support them? Something to think about, something to put in action today. Think about it. Tell your best friend, tell your closest family members, even just tell them. But more importantly, if possible, write it down. Make sure it goes with your estate to care for your dogs. Post in the comments what action you've taken or what action you are planning to take based on what you've heard in this story, because you just never know. You certainly don't plan for it to happen, but you can plan if it does happen. I'm Karen Laws, the interior dog trainer, with Josie, with Prince, my legacy dogs, and we're here with Mr. Bruiser, who's here for a visit, for training. But what happens if something happened and I didn't come home? We have to reach his owners. All kinds of things to consider. Don't wait. Start your planning today. Get that plan executed. Make sure it's in place so you can have peace of mind that all of your dogs are taken care of, no matter what, because the joy continues. Dogs live in the moment. They won't miss this guy. They're going to miss all their other 14 friends that they played with and ran with and ate with and lived with 24/7, but now they're on to new lives. What's your plan to provide a new life for your dog when you can no longer provide? I look forward to hearing your comments. Thanks for watching, and please be safe. Hug your loved ones, hug your dog, and we'll see you on the inside.